Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Nelson, and I thought I'd make a video like this just because one, it'd be fun, and two, with the Switch 2 coming out this week, I need to kind of find some space for my games, and I don't know, maybe if I want to display the box. I figured it'd be cool to let you guys kind of see my space in my room, how I've kind of curated my collection to really showcase my personality and the things I'm into, and maybe hear from you guys in the comments below, anything that pops out to you, and maybe things that we can connect on and chat about down in the comments. So without further ado, I guess I'm gonna switch to my phone. Okay. If you're a fan, that's because I have one on. This room can get pretty warm back here, but this is the setup. Let me see if I can step back. I gotta put it on the wide. Yeah. So this is my gaming desk. I've had this for a minute, but this is kind of where the magic happens. And for for anyone trying to start their own channel or looking at other newer channels trying to do this, I mean, this is all doable. Again, I do video and photos, so I use my personal camera for the webcam stuff. But honestly, whatever you have, make it work. The biggest thing is just focus in on that. And hopefully my mic sounds good, but this can always come later if you're wanting really like higher quality looking footage. But yeah, it's my little setup before I decided to start this channel up again. I mean, all of this was gone obviously, but yeah, this was just where I played my PlayStation 5 and anything else that I had plugged up to the monitor. So now it's really just for recording and trying to create content. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff ranging from PS5 30th anniversary DualSense to God of War Ragnarok, Zelda amiibo, my Link from Tears of the Kingdom here. Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite series of all time. So I've got this little Nendroid of Sora from KH1, which to me, that might just be peak design. I don't know, that's a really good look. Then I've got some Marvel stuff, got the Goblin Bomb and this brown suit Wolverine statue, and you can see another Link amiibo. And then up here, a few other things. I've got some promo art from, let me zoom this in, from Kingdom Hearts. This was from their 25th anniversary vinyl collection. So it actually has like some cool promo art. You can even see like a version of Sora from Kingdom Hearts 4 here in the center left side, which is pretty cool. I didn't expect them to have anything for 4 up on artwork, but that's cool. Then I've got the Spider-Man statue. I don't know why I zoomed out all the way. Shenron, this Mass Effect Omni tool, because I love Mass Effect. So probably one of my other favorite game series. And then this Wolverine cowl. And then that's the front door. Almost tripped over my chair. And you might be wondering why that looks not like the wall. And I'll tell you why. It's because it's not painted. And yeah, I need to paint it. I've got this Mondo X-Men 97 Cyclops figure, big into X-Men, so when 97 dropped, I just lost it. I went fully in. And then in the closet here, I'm hiding all the other stuff that I don't have a place for. So I've got a few more Dragon Ball figures and collectibles and stuff, even some Naruto up there. I've got a Kojima Productions figure. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. I don't know, it's cool. I had him out for a while, but I cycled him out to put the Legend of Zelda Link from Tears of the Kingdom. Then I've got some box sets for One Piece and one for Dragon Ball Z. One Piece I recently just started getting into a few months ago, and I can understand why people are into it, and that's why I decided to pull the trigger on all this. And then I just have a bunch of stuff for other figures and things like that I am either storing because I don't have a place for them, or I'm just holding the box there for when I cycle them out from being displayed. These right here though, that's from Zone of the Enders, specifically 2, and that is a game series, if you haven't played yet, is so awesome. The latest version that you can get is the Mars edition. I'm pretty sure that's on like Steam and PS4. And oh dude, it's so good, especially the second one. I'm trying not to trip. I'm holding my phone with my hand. Yeah, it's not professional, but whatever. Here I have my game shelf essentially. This is just holding every single piece of game media that I have. So up top we got my PS5 30th anniversary edition with 2 controllers to go with it. an Astrobot figure, because I think, honestly, that little guy is probably one of the best things Sony's done in a while. And then down here, I've got a little, I don't even know. I didn't intentionally have it set up like this. It works for me and it looks good, so we leave it. But I've got my display for Kingdom Hearts All-in-One, Kingdom Hearts 3, my Vita, and this is my PSP from when I originally got it. So this thing has been through the runner. And then this Vita I picked up a few months ago to check this system out. It's a really cool system. And then the Spider-Man PS4 statue. And then up here I got my Metroid Dread amiibos, and that is a Luigi Power Band from Epic Universe at the Super Nintendo World portion of the park in Orlando, Florida. So I was able to go there for a preview day. And guys, that thing was so cool. I've never been to a theme park that felt so fun to just be in. And I'm specifically talking about the Super Nintendo World portion. But like, that power band lets you interact with the entire park. You don't have to stand in a line in order to like use the band or enjoy that area of the park. You have that band, that whole park opens up. All the blocks are hittable. There's like challenges that you can find. There's a whole achievement system essentially when you're there. So like doing a bunch of different things nets you stamps and like in-game achievements essentially. It just made everything more engaging. So it was super cool. Then I've got this limited edition Metal Gear Solid 4 box set. It's probably one of my favorite PS3 games of all time. I've played that game so many times. And then down here is where the collection kind of starts. I've got at least one game from every PlayStation gen. So PS1, I love PS1. But I don't feel like, and this maybe could be another video, I just don't feel like I have to get stuff for this. And I only have 3 games. It's just Final Fantasy Tactics 7 and Final Fantasy 8. So I just haven't been going into it because I have a PS1. There are other ways that I can enjoy those games, so I just enjoy them that way. And then we've got my PS2 collection here. This is actually everything from when I was a kid, and I haven't gotten any more or any less. So I almost kind of like leave it alone because it kind of just like memorializes a point in my life that, like, I don't know. It's just cool. I'm being weird. Anyway, these are all the games that I had on my PSP growing up, aside from Ape Escape on the Loose. That was a recent pickup. But I literally asked for a PSP just because I freaking knew it in my heart of hearts that there was going to be a Kingdom Hearts game that came out just on the PSP. So I begged for one, and then eventually we got it, and man, that thing came with like a sticker pack and some other stuff. And then I have my PS3 stuff going on. And the funny thing about this collection specifically is that my PS3 died. I had the original fat model from, 2006 when the PS3 released. And I think like 5 months ago, I went to boot it up because I tested it to make sure that Metal Gear Solid 4 could run and, that the system was working. And it was working fine, no issues. And I was like, oh, cool. So then I went on, I did my other things. And then like 2 months after I did that, I went to boot up my PS3 to play Metal Gear Solid 4, and it died. It literally died. It would beep and then not turn on. And I mean, I tried cleaning it out because it was at my parents' for a long time. And I guess all that dust and stuff just dried out everything on the inside of the system. And so it might have just overheated, which is an inevitability with that version of the console, but it still sucks. But these 2 Ratchet & Clank games were early pickups to add to all of this. Infamous was also one. I had it digitally, but I never owned it physically. And then down here, I also picked up Resistance 2 and 3. So aside from that, everything else I had already had on the system. And then this is the PS4. Sephiroth. But yeah, I was heavily collecting for PlayStation for a minute. And I actually sold a good chunk of it because it was me like kind of, if I had a game digitally, I just tried to get it again physically. And you come to realize at some point, like, yeah, it's nice to have, but that these are games that you're trying to get a physical version for. That they're the kinds of games that you might not ever pick up again. you're just maybe enjoying it in the moment, or you enjoyed it at one point, but you know it's not something you'll ever want to revisit. So I went back to the drawing board, and now everything here is a game that I would be likely to revisit at some point in my life. And so some of them are sealed, and that's either because I have a digital version and I just really wanted that physical, or I have a version on another system and I've opened it, or it's for me to track whether or not I have to play it, because I have Disco Elysium here and I don't have that digitally, but I wanted it. I just haven't gotten to it. So yeah, this is my little curated collection. It's not big, but then we got the PS5, and anything that was on the PS4 that kind of had a PS5 remaster, essentially, that's where I ended up getting that game. So you'll see that for Death Stranding, even though I have a copy here, but this came with the collector's edition. So that, Ghost of Tsushima, if there was a PS4 version or a PS5 version, I always went with the PS5, so God of War Ragnarok, etc. So like I was saying, you can see Death Stranding, Demon Souls, even though that was only on 5. God of War Ragnarok, Ghost of Tsushima, the 2 Last of Us games. All of that I just ended up getting again. And then down here is all my Switch stuff. Funny quick story is I sold my entire Switch collection at one point. And I rebought a lot of it. And so this is a combination of all the games I used to have, plus a few more that I didn't, that I ended up picking up. So yeah, don't do that, because that was a lot. That was stupid on my end. And then got a Game Boy Advance SP that I'm planning to do a shell swap and screen swap on. And then I recently picked up a 3DS to try out games I've never been able to play and that I've heard good things of. So currently playing through A Link Between Worlds still and enjoying that. And then down here is kind of like my filler shelf. That Spider-Man Miles Morales is a popcorn bucket. It's cool. I don't know why I got that and the Gwen, but I'm living with my decisions, so yeah. And then down here, I've got a few of my Xbox 360 games that I had growing up. Nothing crazy, I just don't know what to do with them yet, so they're there for now. And then here is the main entertainment center. This is where I mainly play, if I want to play on a TV, my Steam Deck and my Switch over there. So got a few more Marvel figures on the wall, a lot of Spider-Man, X-Men. Those are my 2 franchises within Marvel that I'm into. We've got 2 arcade sticks for beat-em-ups, fighting games, all that jazz. One for Xbox, this is the one I actually reviewed in a video a while back. Still the same artwork. I thought about changing it out because I have 2 other pieces that I created for the stick, but it's cool. I like it for the decoration, even though I can't really use it. I can use it on the Steam Deck. That's the only place I can use it, because I don't have the Xbox anymore. And then this I got when Street Fighter V came out. Got this 8-bit do controller that I'm able to use in my Steam Deck and my Switch, so that I don't have to rely on first party all the time. And it's always nice to have more standard controllers for when friends are over and stuff like that. Then I've got my Steam Deck OLED limited edition. Yep, I had to. You make it translucent, I am a sucker. That and the gray on the PS1. And then my Tears of the Kingdom Switch, which Legend of Zelda is my favorite Nintendo IP. I'm sure it's a lot of yours. Some more amiibos. This was a commemorative statue for Super Nintendo World. I had to pick it up. So that's cool. And then down here, there goes the PS3. It is just a statue. It doesn't do anything. But yeah, I'm storing my GameCube controllers there. I'm gonna try those out on the Switch too. Got a few things there. That stack of stuff right there in the middle, that's all Switch 2 stuff. Got 2 different types of screen protectors. All of my receipts showing that the system and all the stuff I paid for is paid off. Got this Millennium Falcon Lego set that I built. Zelda chess set. DualSense Edge. Got some more Dragon Ball figures. Persona 5 Royal Collector's Edition. My Super Nintendo Classic. That's a pretty cool thing. I don't really touch it too much anymore. And then just a bunch of other media, books. A lot of it Dragon Ball or anime or Spider-Man or whatever. It's my stuff though. And then up here is where I have the other X-Men Mondo figures. So I've got a Wolverine coming. I have no idea where any of these are going. Yeah, I'm kind of slowing down a lot in the figures because they take up a lot of space and they take up a lot of it really quick. So I've kind of got to be picky. So even with like the Marvel Legends you see here, I'm only collecting anything that's on a retro card that I can hang up like this. I don't really do like normal boxes anymore. So then I've got this Dragon Ball Super Collector's Edition Steelbook set for the anime. And then here, I don't know if I'm going to change this, a majority of the shelf, or at least half of the shelves on here. But I've got my Dragon Ball manga. This is Dragon Ball through Z. But I have this freaking Nintendo 64 controller for Nintendo Online. And so, yeah, it's just blocking a lot of stuff. And I've got these other amiibos here. I recently just started collecting these, but I don't care if they're boxed or not. Only a few of them, like obviously Sora here, Kingdom Hearts, I keep him boxed. But yeah, everything else, I'm just like, they look cool. And I'm just getting into it super late, so whatever. And then I've got Dragon Ball Super. I've been trying to keep up with that. Not too sure if this series is going to continue. I feel like it keeps hitting walls. But here are two of the figures that I have that I have posed. And then here, a few manga. Full Metal Alchemist is my favorite anime and manga of all time. Fight me. And then I have a few one-off issues. I've read through all of these except for this. I started reading it and I think I fell off. But it was pretty interesting. It's like some guy keeps getting killed and he comes back to life and he like gets a do-over every time. I don't know. But Solon and this is a really good one. So good that I wanted to get another piece of this author's work. And this one is very dark and nothing like this. I like this one more. And then obviously I have a few things of Akira Toriyama. So everything Dragon Ball, Sandland, and then this manga theater is a lot of his early work. So I do it. I enjoy his stuff. And then down here is everything One Piece. And yeah, I've got a problem. I have every volume that's released, but I'm like on issue number like 27 or something down here. So yeah, I've got a long way to go, but it's been really fun so far. And I decided to get Luffy, Zoro, and Nami as figures. I think those are the only three I'm going to keep, and I'm not going to get any more because they take up a lot of space. But lastly, it is my record player shelf. So one of the cool things is I have this Cyberpunk radio volume set. So it comes with a bunch of tracks that you hear on the radio in Cyberpunk, and it came with this cool vinyl cover thing. I forget what you call this. It's a pad that the record sits on to play, and it's got all the different radio station logos on from Cyberpunk on there. So a lot better than a plain one. So yeah, my records, I typically collect game scores and movie scores or soundtracks. So it's a mixture of soundtracks or scores, and then I have a few albums from actual like bands or musicians and stuff. So this is from Good Kid. They're an awesome indie band. I found them randomly and I got hooked. But yeah, I've got things like Arcane. This is season 1, and I've got season 2 back here. Alan Wake 2, X-Men 97. This is Logic. This is like a Jet Set Radio tribute type deal, and it's super cool. Daft Punk, La La Land, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. The Guardians of the Galaxy video game soundtrack, really good. And then, of course, I have my Kingdom Hearts, so it's 1, 2, and 3's soundtracks or scores. Godzilla -1. So it just ranges. I enjoy it. So if there's a game that I really enjoyed the music for, or a movie I really enjoyed the music for, typically I'll go out of my way and try and get the record for it. And then down here, a few box sets for a lot of those records. So I even have a Street Fighter 3 collection, which comes with all of the music from Street Fighter The Next Generation to Third Strike, so all the iterations of the game's music. And then this God of War one, it's a box set that only gives you Ragnarok, but it's designed to fit the 2018 reboot soundtrack in. So I don't know. Got more Switch 2 stuff for when I get the console in. This Guilty Gear Strive 25th anniversary, Invincible compendiums, and then comics, Bible, books of all kinds, and yeah. And then this Kojima mascot. It's not a bobblehead, but it's a really fat statue. He's a thick boy. And then this Akira manga box set that is too heavy to take out and show. And then lastly, my Leviathan X. This guy is actually sharp. And yeah, I was cut by this axe by accident. By accident? No? Okay. Anyway, then I have this Batman holographic like artwork. You can see that on camera. Pretty cool. But yeah, this axe is pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I just want to show off the space and let you guys kind of see a little bit of what I got going on here, what I get to see every time I try to make a video. So appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave it a like. It helps out a ton. I don't know why I'm rotating this dang camera, but until next time, be safe, take care, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.